should we have a drum roll?
Yes.
To the very last and final episode of The Remedy with Tova Sido Janice and
Janice Gaunt and
Tom Bridwell.
nobody's sick, nobody's dying.
we're all just a little too busy to keep it going.
Agreed.
But man, what a ride it has been.
It's been so fun.
It has been so much fun.
I wonder how many listeners we've had.
Over 7 years. We've been doing this for, I've been doing it for 7 years. I think you came in around year 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And so we've been doing it together for 3 or 4 years, but
Yep.
we started this in May or June of 2018.
Here.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's just been such a ride. And
Yeah.
so much fun.
I know.
And
It
so
has
many
been.
good memories. I mean,
I know.
so many good memories. I definitely woke up a little sad, a little nostalgic, but also like, okay, now I have a lot more time on Mondays.
Yeah, you do. That's right.
And you know what? I'm going to fill it with non-work things. I'm going to.
Yeah, good.
We should go to the pool.
Yeah.
I bought us margaritas today. We should drink
Cheers.
more margaritas.
Yeah, cheers.
Yes, cheers
Thank
to
you, Tova.
Thank you, Janice. Cheers. And cheers, Tom.
Yes,
up
cheers
there
to
in
you
the
guys.
Tom in the booth. We appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you so much, Janice. I just have so much gratitude for you. I have so much gratitude for Tom.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been so fun.
it has been.
It really has.
Yeah, it's really been
I woke
so
up
fun.
kind of thinking the same thing. I was like, golly, I kind of hate to just stop. you know,
And when
but then,
when you listen to the feedback from our listeners, so I asked our listeners to give us feedback. No, it was lovely and it was really sweet, and I'm going to share. I'm going to share a lot of what people said.
Good.
Because it's just kind of makes you feel like it did something. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, we put a lot of effort into this
Yeah.
over the years.
Yeah.
You know, 7 years and 300 and what is it, Tom? How many episodes? 360 something?
329.
Oh, 320.
This is episode 329.
329
That's crazy.
episodes. Like, that's a lot of remedies.
It is.
People never have to pay another therapist again. They can just,
That's exactly
what do I know? I'm
right.
struggling with depression, parenting.
Yeah, all of that. Yeah.
Intention.
Yeah.
Erectile dysfunction. Menopause. We got it all right here.
Exactly.
Discipline, parenting,
Yeah.
how to get divorced, how to be divorced,
Yeah.
how to date after divorce. I mean, literally, I was looking through all of our episodes just to kind of reminisce, and I don't think there's a remedy left.
Maybe our remedy would be
How to die.
a new remedy.
How to die? We don't know how to do that.
I'm not worried about that.
No, but that's I think the only thing we haven't talked about because it's the only thing we haven't pretended to be an expert on.
Yeah.
So I asked people to reach out and
Oh,
share.
good. I'm excited to hear.
Yeah, I haven't shared any of these with Tom or Janice, and so I won't say names of people who wrote in. So a lot of people direct messaged, and several of the people that are closer to me sent me text messages. But the resounding response after I announced it on Instagram that we were going to stop. I can't tell you how many people DM'd me. No. Okay. So let's go through some of this. So my favorite remedies. This is from a listener. Take the lesson and throw away the experience.
Yeah.
This is especially helpful after I've had a rough day. When talking to someone that you feel you've been hurt by, use the words like, when you do or say XYZ, it makes me feel XYZ. taking some ownership and not making them feel the need to be defensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
Your opinion of me is none of my business.
Yeah, my favorite saying in the world. What you think of me is none of my business.
Yep, oldie but goodie. I'll take that one to my grave for sure. And this person wrote, we all need to remember this one on a daily basis. There have been too many valuable remedies to list. I love you. And Janice, good luck on the last recording. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah, it's really sweet.
I'm getting choked up. Okay, I'll kind of go back and forth. One person just wrote in, man, am I going to miss you guys.
Oh, that's so nice.
I know. It really, really choked me up. On the ones that people wrote in on the specific episodes, I put the number of the episodes. So if somebody wanted to go back and listen to it, they could.
Oh, cool.
So a big favorite, I think one of the most listened to podcasts that we've ever done was, the most listened to was Mike McGuire's.
Oh, yeah.
On Intention. And he is just the GOAT. I mean, there's nobody better than Mike McGuire.
Yeah, no.
And that is my personal favorite, is the one that he did on living a life with intention. And you know what I loved about that one? So many men listened to that
that's so
one.
Good.
And really, as you know, Mike has just lived such an intentional life.
He does. He's a wonderful person.
And he's an incredible husband, father.
And he's funny and kind, and he's not
successful.
like all wadded up at all.
No, approachable.
Yes.
But he's so successful, and so to have those qualities, and it was like a successful man can be like this.
Yeah,
which
sure.
I think is sometimes hard for people to pull off. So that episode of his is 10. Another one that was really popular that several people wrote in that made an impact was the one on postpartum.
Oh.
And that was episode 32. A girl came and talked about postpartum depression. And I remember, did you ever experience that? Did you ever experience postpartum?
I really did not.
You're lucky.
Not. No, I didn't.
I so did.
I didn't. I mean,
I was scared of the dark.
I was tired, of course.
Well, that's normal.
But no, I did not have any depression after having a child.
Yeah, that's really lucky.
Yeah. I think my hormones, I'd been on hormones for a while before I started taking other, doing like a period thing. Because when Kurt and I decided we were ready to have a child, then we, I got back off, got on, off of the hormones and just let it go, and so, yeah, it was, I just didn't really have that. And then once Bryn was born, I was just so happy, and I just did not, I was very fortunate that I did not have any postpartum depression.
That's really lucky.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, as excited and grateful as I was to be a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's just the way that I felt. I hated it. So many people experience it.
I was tired. Trust me. I mean, I was really tired.
It's exhausting having
I didn't have any either.
I'm so glad, Tom.
Good, Tom.
So that was a popular one. That was episode 32. You and I did one on parenting.
Yeah.
It was one of the first episodes. It was episode 15. And 3 or 4 people wrote in and was like, that all those tips that you and Janice gave me about parenting was
interesting,
super helpful.
Yeah.
Another popular one was when I had Mary Catherine, and she talked about how to create joy. And one mom specifically wrote, Mary Catherine, in that episode, she talked about how she used to write on the mirrors, her children's mirrors, with those erasable markers, like, have a killer day, look how beautiful you are. And So several people wrote in how they started doing that after MK's podcast,
cute.
which is really, really, really cute.
I put sticky notes on my girl's mirror, like good sayings and stuff like that, but I never wrote it on the mirror. But that's really cute.
You gave my daughter a sticky note that said, "What you think about me is none of my business," and it's still on her mirror in your handwriting. It's really, really, really
Oh,
cute.
that's funny.
Yes. Okay. And another person wrote in. I think I'd just say that for me, when I was really in the thick of figuring out how to put one foot in front of the other after a stillbirth, I heard you and saw that there could still be life and a life of abundance. And I also heard Janice honor your pain and life experiences. Some people want to brush the uncomfortable off. I'm thankful that my OBGYN told me to read your book and to listen to your podcast. So that's what I did every day. I walked and I listened and I read and I tried to heal. And I'm really glad you were in my headphones when I needed a lifeline. I will really miss you and Janice.
Oh, that is so precious. Gosh, that makes all of it worth it right
Doesn't
there.
it?
Oh, that's really precious.
Yeah, it makes me cry.
I know.
So sweet.
It is so sweet.
Well, we did this hoping we made a difference. And to just get some feedback like that is really, 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 really sweet.
Yeah, it really is.
One of our listeners' favorite was the things your teenager wishes you knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wish we did that episode when my kids were still young teenagers. Because I was like, damn it, I did not do a good job with that. I forgot to write down which episode that was, but we've done that in the last several months. So you can find that. One person wrote in, this was interesting, episode 301, signs your husband might be cheating.
Oh.
She said that she thought, she saw stuff, but she just ignored it.
Yeah.
But after she listened to that podcast, she was like, okay, I can't keep ignoring these. And so she hired a private
PI?
Yep. And he was. And she said, you didn't save my life, or you didn't save my marriage, but you saved my life.
Yes.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah, it really is.
Yep. I loved this one. Somebody wrote in that episode 213, Fear of Abandonment.
Yeah.
Where you said
adults can't be abandoned.
You're not a
they
baby.
They can be left, but they can't be abandoned. Yes. If we put you on the front porch, you will get up and walk off. They didn't like that, probably.
No, they said they laughed and they loved that you said that. That would, because a lot of people use that, like, I just have a fear of abandonment.
Yeah. Oh,
and it's like,
I feel like they've just abandoned me. I'm like, they can't. They can't. They can leave, but they cannot abandon you. You are going to get off the porch and go and do things.
Yes. So I love that one for sure. 196, and we did not only say this in episode 196, we said it a lot, and a lot of people, probably 9 or 10, wrote in and how much they appreciated that control is just an illusion. And you taught all of us that, Janice, that there's no such thing.
Yeah, it's an illusion.
Yep. Okay, I'll go back and read.
You had a lot of responses.
I know. It was really fun.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Somebody said, sad to learn that this will be your last podcast. Your podcast has made a huge difference in my life, especially during some of my darkest days. You and Janice gave me hope, wisdom, and much needed laughter at times. Thank you for making a difference with your dedication in helping others.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, it's really great.
Somebody said, this is hilarious. So 2 people wrote in really funny ones. One, ho, 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 and I don't mean a loose woman. That's all they wrote.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just so sophisticated and so intelligent, and that says it all.
Well, it's one right around Christmas time. Another person said, I've always loved Janice's jokes. They've always just made me smile and laugh. Love you both and appreciate you bringing awareness, joy, love, and abundance to the world. Congratulations on 7 years. Big hugs to you all.
Wow. Oh, that's so sweet.
So sweet. Okay. Episode 180. It's okay to not be perfect. The only thing you're perfect at is being imperfect.
Uh-huh.
They really appreciated that little nugget.
I can remember when Pia Melody told me that we are all perfectly imperfect. So stop trying to be perfect because you can't.
No, you can't. Yeah. And I saw she just passed away.
She did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she taught us
She was
all.
my mentor. Oh, she was so... I did all my training with her.
I mean, that's just...
She,
do you know how lucky that is?
Oh,
you do.
I know.
You do know
I
how
know.
lucky.
She was just something else.
Somebody wrote in that the episode 166 on forgiveness, where you said, let it begin with me, really made an impact on the relationship with their dad.
Oh,
that
nice.
They had been estranged and they were waiting for their dad to come back. And then you saying that inspired them to make the first move toward forgiveness.
Yeah.
And
That's
has
really
healed
cool.
that relationship.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So sweet. Episode
Who
1.
knew? All I know are dirty jokes.
I think you know more than that. Somebody wrote in episode 160. They loved the question, what's your superpower? Because it was something they'd never heard before.
Yeah.
It was a concept they never thought of. They never thought of themselves as having anything special. And so it really caused them to consider, like, okay.
Isn't that so great? Because everyone has a superpower.
Absolutely.
And we just don't, for the most part. I think we've come a long way with that because we know as people who are therapists and understand about children and all of that, is that you're not going to give them too much full of themselves if we talk and really stress what they do so well.
Yeah, there's divinity in all of us.
Yeah, and to be able to point those things out to your children, I do with my children, my adult children, and my grandchildren, and all of that is to really point out their attributes and the things, and it's just really important that we do that and we continue to do it. And I think as we get older, we need to do it too, because, I'm so much older than y'all, but, a lot, but, okay.
No.
But, when you get to be a certain age and you think, okay, so now what? Now what do I do? You go to Neiman's and buy new blue jeans.
That's what Janice did today.
I did. It helped. It worked.
We had to wait 17 minutes for you to buy those damn jeans. And I bet they're going to be worth it.
They are going to be worth it. But that ability to encourage people, that
you can't do it enough.
No, you can't.
You cannot do it enough.
And when somebody, I'm going to be 73 in September, and I'm not. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm just grateful I'm still alive.
You should be so proud.
But it still is so interesting, and you think, okay, so where is my lifespan? When I heard that Pia had died, I think she was 82. That's 9 years from me. And you think, I think I'll live a lot longer than that, but who knows?
Yeah.
So it is about. I think it's one of the things that's so important is to encourage people as they get older. And I think that as children, if you can I wish I could give anything to have my mother sit here and, talk to her about all of the things that were so beautiful about her and what she did.
Yeah.
And so we don't necessarily want to wait till somebody dies, but it's different, know. And so I think that the whole age thing is something that people struggle with.
Sure, of course they do.
Because they're like, okay, now what do I do?
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. I love that you said that. Sometimes when I just have some downtime, I will sit in my office and I will think about people I love, and I will send them encouraging messages about things that I love and appreciate about them. And because I value that so much, because to your point, I don't think you can ever do it enough.
I agree.
And you know what? I love hearing it. I mean, we've never asked for this kind of feedback. And so to hear the difference that what we've done has made in people's lives is very heartwarming.
It really is. And it's such a spiritual acceptance and feeding others, and it really is. That's what I think that we have had so much fun doing this, and we've laughed our heads off, and we've told dirty jokes some, and but all
been
of that
mildly inappropriate.
But yeah, mildly. It could be worse. I can tell you.
When the mic goes off, it is worse.
But it's just so I'm humbled by the fact that you've gotten all of these responses.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is humbling to me.
Very humbling.
I'm like, really?
I know. I mean,
I always say that if somebody's like, "Oh, I listen to your podcast," I'm like, "Really?
You do?" No, it is very humbling.
Yeah, it is. And Tom, you've come and done this and sat here with us and
done a
taken care
job
of all of the details of it. And
100%.
I think we all are very, very grateful to you for your willingness to do this.
Well, and what the audience doesn't see is how he shows up, how professional he is, how quickly he gets it done.
Thank you.
How efficient.
Makes the corrections, sends it
Moves
out on time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Thank you.
We couldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't want to.
Well, I wouldn't know how to.
You don't know how. I don't want to, and
and he does,
and that's his superpower.
But it really is, and it's so I like that. Every time I have listened to us, I am impressed with the fun that we have had and the fact that Tom has been here to set us up, do all of that you and I would never be able to do. And we had another producer at one point in time but they just weren't nearly as efficient as Tom. And
Thank you.
And every time you would input something, it was always funny or really good, important.
Yeah. And oftentimes very different than my perspective or your but I think that's good because
I do too.
We want I don't always think we're right, it's just we're different.
We're different people,
which is great.
Yeah.
Differences are good.
Yeah.
I apprete that.
Well,
it is true. Well, we wouldn't have done it.
We can't.
We would not have been done it without you. You are the wheel.
We would have been staring at a computer or a board, being like, I don't know, I don't know. Forget it. Let's go have a glass of wine.
Exactly.
Okay, next one. This says, love you, T and Janice. I can't believe it's the last one. I'm so proud of how you have blessed your listeners over the years. You two have impacted so many people and have brought relief and joy and healing and fun. my favorite thing has been just hearing my friend and her mentor doing it and making it happen on her own fabulous podcast. I can't wait to see what you and Janice do next.
I don't know. We may tap dance on the roof in my new jeans.
Yeah. And then she said, "Love you, Queens."
Oh, that's really cute.
So good. Somebody said, I am absolutely in love with and hang on to every single acronym that you all have taught me and are now so valuable to me. Intimacy, you see, fear, false experience appearing real, and expectations / future resentments.
Yeah.
Those are great lessons.
Yeah.
Those are ones I hang on to every day in my life.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Keep it simple. Kiss it. Keep it simple, silly.
Yes. And then he or she said, it has all really helped me reframe so many things for me and makes a difference every single day of my life.
Oh,
So sweet.
yeah, that is so sweet. Maybe we shouldn't stop. Oh no.
Okay.
Y'all, you guys who responded to Tova, I mean, how kind and flattering. Yes. And just
thoughtful.
So thoughtful. And you took the time to listen
to all of
us. Yeah.
Okay, just a couple more. Somebody wrote in how impactful I had in episode 19 a friend of mine named Max, who's gay.
Yeah.
And he talked about the difficulty of growing up in a very conservative home and the disappointment that he felt from especially his father. And it was a gay man who wrote in and said that episode really empowered me to not be ashamed of my sexuality.
Yeah.
Which
that's so good. That is so that's just so good.
Another person wrote in about how much the Enneagram, episode 40, we talked about that.
That was early on.
Yeah, that's a good one. Episode 156 was very important to a couple of people. One person in particular said she was inspired in that episode on what it means to really show up for people, not the way that show up for her friends, not the way that was most comfortable for her, but in the capacity that they might need at the time. And so she said it's changed the trajectory of her friendships ever since. And then the last one, episode 84, selfishness versus self-care. She said, I am so grateful for Janice for teaching me the difference, because I always thought if I was taking care of myself, I was being selfish. Ever since, I've got more manicures, pedicures, facials, massages, and I never apologize if I miss a game or can't be the perfect mom, because sometimes I just need to take care of myself.
Yeah, so good. It's so true.
It's so true.
You know, I mean, self-care is always selfish, and that is okay.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee you my mother never heard that.
No.
Never.
And it would have changed her life if she did.
Yeah, because her whole attitude was, and part of it was from that Baptist church that was pretty hellfire and damnation.
And generational.
Yeah, and that it was just, you have to
sacrifice.
Die unto yourself.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a point to that when you look at Christianity, but not in your world,
No.
Nobody,
No. You don't ever need to sacrifice yourself at the detriment to yourself. I mean, that you taught me that, and that so many parents are like, I've never missed a game. I'm on every sideline, and I love that for them.
Yeah, that's great. If that's fun and you want to do it and everything.
But there were some times being a single mom, 3 kids, working, umpteen hours a week, cooking dinner every night. I just didn't want to drive to Seguin and sit in the freezing cold. And when it doesn't mean you're a bad mom.
No, and the thing about it is too, if your children want to play in all those sports and everything, then I think it is just such an imposition on people that they just have to be there or they're a bad parent.
Yes. And there's a whole bunch more reasons why you're a bad parent.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they do that to make up for the other stuff.
I do too. And if you're doing it out of choice and everything, sometimes you just can't beat at everything.
Yeah.
Especially with your age and people that are like Blair's age, my youngest daughter, they're busy and they've got they have little kids, but they don't have 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds, but they've got a lot of activities and they're driving to cheer and to dance.
And the kids can't drive themselves.
No.
And they're,
yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And we put way too much pressure on ourselves as parents. For sure.
And I think that I also think that if you choose, if some days you just think, you know what, I'm not going to go to that football game, then, that's a good thing for your children or your grandchildren or whomever to know is that you don't have to be everything for everyone.
No.
It's impossible.
And you can take care of yourself.
And
we're also not the most important thing in the world.
No.
And I think teaching children that there's also other things that are important. Like me taking care of myself or me getting rest or I don't feel super great or whatever it is,
Yeah, it is. And what's interesting is that when you're my age and you're a grandparent and you're going to your grandchildren's functions or games or whatever, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Those activities for me are different than when my kids were younger because we were just so overwhelmed with everything and getting them to school and all that stuff. And now it's just
a joy,
pure joy to show up to those football games.
Guess what? You didn't get them up in the morning. You didn't wrangle them to get ready for school. You didn't carpool. You didn't have to do the snack.
That's right. No, it's
all you have to do is show up and cheer
and smile.
Yeah, and love on them, and that's so amazing.
Yeah,
I'm going to be really excited about that.
You are. It is really great.
Well, I'm proud of what we've done.
Me too.
I'm really proud of what we've done. I'm really grateful for the impact that it's made, and I'm grateful that somewhere along the way, something that we had to say impacted people's lives, families, homes, relationships. It's like you said, it's very humbling.
It's very humbling. And the fact that our listeners that would text us or whatever or call in or whatever, that they were being transparent enough to help us make a point that will serve other people.
Absolutely.
And so it's a gift.
Yeah, it's been a real gift.
It really has.
And it's been such a gift to do it with you, Janice.
Oh, you're so precious. You're like, I feel like you're one of mine.
Well, yeah, I remember one time pulling over the side of the road and I was so upset about something and I was like, I'm sorry I'm calling you, but I feel like you're my mom because I don't have one. And you're like, I will answer the phone every time you call.
Every time. I will be your mom.
You said that.
You can talk to my daughters and see if they'll let you get in on some stuff.
I doubt it. But I don't blame them. I would elbow people out too. But I just want to thank you,
are you kidding?
Janice.
Oh, Tova, you are such a precious friend.
Yeah,
you are you I admire you, and I think that you are such a wonderful example of how people can live and make choices that are good for them, that might not be what everybody would think would be the right thing. But it just, all of those things just have been, you've affected my children, you've affected my grandchildren, you've affected me, and it has been so joyful.
Yeah, it has.
I hate to cry.
Well, it has been joyful.
It has.
And we'll be friends forever.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for this experience with you, and I'm grateful that the universe and God brought us together.
Yeah.
I believe that was a divine,
Without a doubt.
yes,
Yeah.
intervention, and you always have a seat at my table, and I know I always have a seat at yours. And
Yeah.
so I love you very much,
I love you too.
and I'll miss it.
Me too. Thank you, Tom,
Yeah.
so
Thank you,
much.
Tom.
Of course.
You
Absolutely.
are so precious. Ugh.